Welcome back to Universally Speaking, ladies and gentlemen, as we have a look back at the week that was in Universe Mode. We start the show today with the bombshell confrontation that kicked off Monday Night Raw between Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Joe, scorned by the way the World Championship match between he and AJ Styles ended at Judgment Day, he put the whole roster on notice, including Shane McMahon. But the talking swiftly ended when Lesnar would come out to silence Joe. But if anything, that only made the situation even more combustible, with Joe and Lesnar going back and forth until Joe would eventually put Lesnar down. Joe said to Shane that he will fight every single person on the roster with no end in sight until he gets his world title rematch. And it would be then, after Raw went off the air, that AJ would strike back against Joe and accept the challenge to put Samoa Joe in the match that was already set between he and Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. We know this week coming up we'll get more answers as it pertains to this potential dream match. We will have to wait and see. We also saw the debut of a brand new tag team on the Red brand in the chaotic Tag Team Gauntlet match for the Tag Team Championships. The Gauntlet raged on, with demonic Rowan and Strowman managing to go all the way through the match. They would then meet the Authors of Pain and narrowly defeat those two in the second last fall. But the frustration boiled over, and Aiken would take a chair to both Rowan and Strowman and open the door for the arrival of the team now known as the American Grapplers Association. Thatcher and Lorcan would storm the ring and get the jump on the already beaten down Rowan and Strowman and win the titles. But their celebration was short-lived as the lights went out and they would come back on. When Lorcan and Thatcher were down, the titles were gone. We know that the AGA will be looking for answers this week and have vowed to call out Rowan and Strowman for a fight. That we simply can't miss. Also this week on the Blue Brand, we saw a brilliant Women's Championship match between Toni Storm and Shayna Basler. Toni Storm has come under fire since winning the championship, with many people believing that she isn't the strongest champion and that her time is limited with the title. Even after a strong win over Ember Moon at Judgment Day, the doubt still loomed, but it would appear that Storm has silenced all of those doubters by defeating Basler in the outstanding main event. But it was after the main event where things got even more interesting. Basler, upset about the loss, would attack Storm and attempt to hijack the championship, but would get cut off by a returning Charlotte Flair. Months after being put on the shelf by Basler during the Mae Young Classic, Flair would grab the title, return it to Toni Storm, but one would have to think Flair might just want to take it off her in an official capacity down the line. We saw even more explosiveness to kick off the show on SmackDown as well, when Daniel Bryan would take the microphone to shed some light on the ESM situation. Bryan, of course, retained his championship with a very controversial ending to the 2 out of 3 falls match at Judgment Day against Cesaro, but it wasn't that Bryan wanted to talk about. No, instead, he put Shinsuke Nakamura, his next opponent for the title, on blast. He called New Japan Pro Wrestling minor league and claims that Shinsuke hasn't evolved much and won't be much of a challenge. He then dropped one of the most surprising pieces of information when he said that he will be entering the Royal Rumble after he defeats Nakamura at that very show. And his reason? He believes that he's the only person on this roster, the entire WWE, who is capable having the most fitting match in the main event of WrestleMania. He wants to wrestle himself in the biggest match at the showcase of the Immortals. The ESM Kool-Aid has indeed been consumed and has gone right to Bryan's head, but will his ego be checked by Nakamura, or is Bryan truly as good as he says he is? We'll have to wait and see in the lead up to the big Royal Rumble showdown. And on the Black and Gold brand this week, we saw perhaps the most chaotic episode in recent memory. And NXT really isn't all that synonymous with the utter chaos that we saw, but there was issues boiling over left, right and centre. And the start to the show was absolutely no different. And it was ESM dominated again when Chad Gable was explaining his reasoning for sticking with the elitists. Gable said he's never been a part of anything quite like ESM, and they went above and beyond to show him just how important he was to them. But then this prompted Bo Dallas to come down and get in the ring and try once again to talk some sense into Chad Gable and try and rescue him from the clutches of what he believes is an organisation just as toxic as what his brother Bray has created. Dallas's advice, though, would fall on deaf ears, and instead of talking sense into Gable, Gable would beat Dallas senseless. And as we mentioned with Bryan, the Kool-Aid has been consumed and has gone right to Gable's head as well. We now move on to the main event of NXT and the hectic finish to the show. After a stern warning from Adam Cole right before the match, it was Aleister Black that would rain down a storm of darkness upon NXT and bust apart the Tag Team Championship match. And this is also our Socially Speaking Moment of the Week.
And now, Bobby Fish to the top. We saw this. We've seen it before. Look out. Down he goes onto the knee. Foot stomp backbreaker combination. And the Undisputed Era are right on the cusp here. They are right on the cusp. Beautiful neck breaker delivered. He's out. He's out. Wait a minute. The lights are out. Undisputed Era on the cusp of Tag Team Championship glory. Oh my God, he's here! Aleister Black is here! Oh my God! Black Mass! Oh my Jesus! Double foot stomp to Roderick Strong! Oh my God! Aleister Black was taken out by Undisputed Era several times, and Black has seen enough. Adam Cole sent a warning to Aleister Black. He said, "You don't get involved in our business." But Aleister Black doesn't negotiate. He doesn't care. Aleister Black is taking care of business. He's getting all up in the business. And he's throwing Black Mass all around. And oh my goodness me, he has torn this match apart and saved it for the Revival, no question. Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder looking at Aleister Black, and they're almost thanking him. Are they working together? Aleister Black staring a hole in both of them. But no! Aleister Black follows no one. Aleister Black takes no prisoners. He doesn't give a damn. Oh my God. Aleister Black is staring a hole directly in you, Adam Cole. Aleister Black, maybe he's undisputed.
So Black took Adam Cole's warning to not get involved in Undisputed Era business and would deliver not one, not even two, not even three, but 4 Black Mass to everyone in sight. Aleister Black is honing in his focus on the new NXT champion, and it doesn't look great for the leader of the Undisputed Era. This week on Raw, we have all the big stars in action, as Rhea Ripley, the women's champion, will be competing. And that isn't all. Big E Langston is also in action after his massive victory over Triple H at Judgment Day. And on SmackDown, we seek even more answers, but it's Kevin Owens that is back in the ring, and he's on a mission, having won his way to a guaranteed, hugely advantageous spot in the Royal Rumble, and he will enter within the numbers of 20 to 30, which almost guarantees a top 10 finish for KO. And also, Cesaro breaks his silence after the heartbreaking WWE Championship loss to Daniel Bryan at Judgment Day, but that ain't all. On NXT, we have an enormous triple threat match where the winner will face Sasha Banks in the future for the Women's Championship of NXT, and it'll be Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, and Asuka to do battle in that one. It's never been more important, ladies and gentlemen, as we always say, to have your notifications on as we go live for every single episode of Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views, takeovers. It's all live premiered, plus a ton of great ways you can support the channel and receive many great benefits, including signing up as a mid-carder or above on Patreon to get early access to every single video, plus access to our private Discord server. And right here on YouTube, you can join the Murphs Elite by clicking the join button to get access to emotes, special sub badges, and there is 3 tiers. You can join up as a rookie for access to just the sub badges and the emotes, or you can join up as an established star to get emotes, sub badges, and access to our private Discord server. But that ain't all. You can sign up as a superstar and go above and beyond. And then you get all of those previous rewards, plus you get early access to every single video. We also have the Teespring store if you want to pick up a cool Murphs YT13 t-shirt or hoodie. And of course, the ESM endorsed Elite t-shirts, always available 24/7. It's going to be a chaotic week in Universe Mode, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, for Murphs YT13, thank you so much for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one.